I have watched a lot of smart people plateau in QA. They are technically capable, they show up, they test things, and they stay at exactly the same level for years. It is not because they lack effort, it is because they are working on the wrong problems. Most advice about getting better at testing falls into one of two traps. It is either too vague to be useful, think like a user, test the edge cases, or it is so theoretical that you cannot apply it when you are mid-sprint with a 2-hour window and docs that have not been updated since last quarter. I have been in QA for over a decade. I have hired testers, led teams, and reviewed hundreds of bug reports. The gaps I keep seeing are almost never technical. They are thinking gaps, so this video is about fixing that. This video breaks down the 3 areas that actually move the needle, structured around a framework I built after years of watching where good testers get stuck. We are talking about how you think, how you communicate, and how you handle pressure. Let's start with the one that matters most. Most junior and mid-level testers start testing the moment they get access to a build. They open the app, find something to click, and go. That works until it does not. And it stops working the moment the feature is complex, the docs are incomplete, or you have a time constraint, which is basically every sprint. The skill that separates solid testers from great ones is building a test strategy in your head before you touch anything. Not a formal document, not a spreadsheet. A mental model for what am I actually testing here, what matters most, and where are the highest risk areas. When you are practiced at it, this takes about 5 minutes. Here is the framework. Start with the purpose of the feature. What problem does it solve? Who uses it and how? That immediately tells you what working correctly means from a user's perspective, which is the only perspective that actually matters. Then look for the edges. What happens at the boundaries of valid input? What happens when someone uses it in a way the developer did not intend? What integrations or dependencies does this feature touch? Then apply risk thinking. You probably do not have time to test everything. Where is the highest chance of something going wrong? And where would the impact be worst if it did? Start there. That is your strategy. No meeting required, 5 minutes of thinking before you open the app. Writing a bug report is not about documenting what you found. It is about convincing a developer that what you found is worth their time. The difference matters because developers are busy. They have their own priorities, and a poorly written bug report gives them every reason to close it as cannot reproduce and move on. A strong bug report has 4 things. A title that tells the developer exactly what is broken without them having to read the rest. Steps to reproduce that are specific enough to follow without any prior context. A clear description of what happened versus what should have happened. And a severity that connects to business impact, not just your gut feeling. The title is the one most people get wrong. Login does not work, is not a title. Login fails with a 500 error when password contains a special character is a title. The first one gets ignored. The second one gets fixed. The other communication skill that does not get enough attention is working without documentation. Specs are incomplete. Stories are vague. Sometimes nobody really knows what the feature is supposed to do. When that happens, your job is to ask the right questions early, not discover the ambiguity 3 hours into testing. What does this state mean when the user has not completed onboarding? Is a question you want answered before you start, not after you have filed 6 bugs that turn out to be expected behavior. The third area is the one nobody covers in courses or books because it is uncomfortable. Pressure is a constant in QA. Releases get moved up. Scope creep happens. A critical path gets blocked by a bug and everyone is looking at you to make a call on whether to ship. Most testers have never been explicitly trained for this. So they either freeze or they say yes to everything or they escalate every decision upward and hope someone else handles it. None of those work long term. The skill you actually need is structured prioritization under pressure. When time collapses, you need a fast and defensible answer to what gets tested, what gets deferred, and what is the risk of each decision. Defensible is the key word. If you defer testing an edge case and it ships broken, you need to be able to explain why that was the right call, given what you knew. I did not have time is not a defense. Given the user impact and the likelihood of that path being hit in production, I prioritized X and Y and accepted the risk on Z is. Visibility matters here too. The testers who get promoted, get listened to, and get taken seriously in a room are not always the most technically skilled. They are the ones who communicate their process, not just their results. Here is the thing most people miss. These are not technical skills. You do not learn them from a certification. You do not get them from memorizing test case templates. They are thinking skills. And thinking skills only develop when you practice them deliberately. Most people never do that. They keep clicking, keep filing, keep waiting for someone to promote them for volume of output. And they wonder why nothing changes. The testers who actually improve are the ones who stop and ask, am I thinking clearly about this, or am I just moving fast? If you want to work on these skills in a structured way, I built a free 21-day email course specifically for this. 1 email a day, 3 to 5 minutes to read, 1 exercise you can apply the same day, even mid-sprint. It covers thinking frameworks for week 1, communication for week 2, and pressure and prioritization for week 3. Link is in the description. First email hits your inbox within 5 minutes. If this was useful, subscribe. I put out videos like this every week for QA engineers who want to actually get better at the job, not just pass the interview. See you in the next one.